What is up, everybody? This is Alex from IHE TV. My name is Markiplier. That was a horrible impression, but I'm talking about Iron Lung, a film by Markiplier, the YouTuber. So with the recent Shelby Oaks and the success of a Talk to Me or Bring Her Back, have us in a position now where we're getting more and more of these YouTuber movies. This one embracing the YouTuber side of it even more than a Shelby Oaks or obviously a Talk to Me, where everyone is shocked and amazed that this film has found an audience for some reason and it's doing extremely well, acting like it's the indie darling success. Not that I'm saying that it's not successful, it's just, I don't know, it's not that surprising to me that a film based off a fairly popular indie game that already exists, and especially Markiplier's attachment to this as writer, director, editor. He did like everything on this. And for a first picture, it's decent. I think there's a good film buried in here. I just don't understand why it is so long. It has pacing so atrocious that you could grab an axe and carve out half an hour of this, and it'll be better on every level. Because it reaches a point with it being a bottle movie, where the location is obviously repetitive. It's in one very small enclosed space. There's one major actor that you're looking at, only interacting with people over comms now and again. So there's only so much energy you can pull out of that. For kind of how small and claustrophobic it is with this kind of micro $3 million budget, the production is good. I think the set is well made, the lighting and the camera work for what it's worth was claustrophobic and fitting, even though at certain points the blocking was kind of confusing in a way that didn't feel intentionally chaotic. And the light can be so dark, I don't know if it was just my screening, but there were points where I couldn't tell what was happening. And honestly, the thing that was kind of most distracting in concept was having Markiplier as the main character. Like, how could I take that seriously? But I thought he did a good job. There's not that much for him to do, apart from kind of be scared and scream. And what was the line they keep repeating? I guess kind of nihilistic at a certain point, where he keeps saying like, what's even the point? And I'm kind of there with him at a certain repetitious cycle that the film falls into. Love the concept, which you can largely give to the game for coming up with. Well, actually, I think it's actually based on a SCP story or something like this. So a lot of kind of internet storytelling baked into it. But it is a really cool idea. The minimalism of the game is attractive with these weird, creepy, claustrophobic X-rays, and it's just a creepy idea. It's cool. And if the film has done anything, it's convinced me to play this game. And for how limited that space is, the direction is solid. It doesn't get too repetitious as far as shot composition. It's okay. A lot of like close-ups of like blood dripping and Markiplier's eye, but that's, again, not really the issue with this movie. I think my biggest problem is the pace. Because I do love me a bottle movie. Watching a character kind of struggle, trying to figure out how to get out of an intense situation, it's what's not to like. This big button that takes the X-rays is such a cool idea, and I feel like there are a few scares they could have indulged in with that I feel like was such a missed opportunity. So to me, it never really goes above a kind of general creepiness to the atmosphere, because the goals of the character and the world are so kind of muddily explained and mumbly and messy. I really needed subtitles for this. That I wasn't that invested in what was going on like a character level. It was more, the setting was cool, the X-ray stuff, there's some fun sound design and inventiveness with how small it has to be. And again, because of that pace, because it's so long, I found myself really craving a different perspective, like a different location or an establishing shot or something. I know the point is that he's welded into this submarine and he's not supposed to come out, but there are moments, flashes, where you get some reprieve from the submarine, and every time it's like, oh, thank God. It's a shame it's usually paired with terrible child acting or some special effects that look like a $3 million budget. I don't know. I think I'd be more forgiving of that if I was more into the story and characters. A bunch of random voices show up in here. I recognize Troy Baker. I was in a game with you. And as I said, most of the performances are vocal. What is that? Jacksepticeye. Didn't catch that. And while I kind of sound like a downer on this, I am happy that it's finding success, especially with it being like his own studio, self-funded. The guy is like ridiculously loaded. So it's, I don't know, celebrating it as an indie darling is a bit of a, so yeah, technically you are indie self-funded, but you are still Markiplier. And any first-time director will tell you that getting attention, getting eyes on the movie is one of the most difficult things, and you don't think having a nearly 40 million subscribed YouTube channel with the YouTube channel branding included in the marketing, obviously that's going to help out a lot. You're going to get coverage whether it's exceptionally good or exceptionally bad. Markiplier made it. It's notable. Like, the dude must be worth tens of millions of dollars, if not more, if not closer to 100 million. I am being pedantic about this, but the whole indie film label, you have to remember, does just apply to how it was distributed, because something like Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets is technically indie by that logic, even though it had a nearly $200 million budget. But all this to say, yeah, $3 million, the return already is ridiculous on an investment this low. So maybe he'll chase this more, maybe secure a bigger budget or whatnot. I don't know what his interest in filmmaking lies, but you could tell at the heart of it, even though I didn't really love this, he clearly loves this game and this IP and wanted to do it justice, and I feel like fans of the game, even though I haven't played it, will find a lot to like as far as that stuff is concerned. Some of the imagery is really moody and cool, and again though, I just couldn't watch this again. I was very much switched off for about the last 40 minutes, even though that's when the more interesting stuff was starting to happen. Could you it's not a very long game, is it? Could you even finish it in this amount of time? Right, so it's like an hour long. That kind of explains some things then, because there is about an hour's worth of story in here with the fleshing out of the main character just being kind of standard, you got the wrong guy type thing. Maybe you should hand off the reins for the editing next time, or maybe find some process of cutting it down a little bit, because it's a shame because I liked a lot of what was going on, but I just can't get down with that runtime. It really did bug me. But how did you feel? Did this flow a little bit better for you? Are you enjoying this string of YouTuber movies? Out of all the YouTubers on this platform, I do have an underlying respect for Markiplier. He's like one of the old school video game dudes. He's I don't know how you can really dislike him. What is there to dislike about him? He's charming, he's got a nice voice. When you hang on. Yeah, when you search Iron Lung Ma, then Markiplier shirtless even comes up, so he's definitely got that sex appeal. But yeah, this is kind of interesting from an industry perspective, but I'm never gonna think about the film again. To me, this was a solid 2-star with a like, with maybe a 3-star hidden in there somewhere, if they could just figure out that pace. Nice one, Mark.